The Silent Watcher's Captain Zephyr Caney adjusted her breathing mask as she floated through the observation deck of Sanctuary Prime, humanity's largest hidden orbital station. Through the reinforced viewing port, she watched the sleek alien survey vessel approach Earth's atmosphere, its hull gleaming silver against the star field. The ship belonged to the Thalassian Collective, a peaceful species of blue-skinned explorers who had been cataloging dead worlds for the past 3 centuries. Zephyr was 42 years old with short auburn hair and emerald eyes that had never seen natural sunlight. Like every human born in the past 800 years, she had grown up among the stars, hidden in massive space stations that orbited Earth's moon and asteroid belt. These stations were masterpieces of deception, designed to look like natural space debris or abandoned mining platforms to any alien scanner. "Captain, the Thalassians are beginning their standard extinction survey," reported Lieutenant Commander James Park from the communications station. James was a tall man with Korean features and the steady hands of someone who had spent his life working with delicate equipment. "Same protocol as always. 3-day scan, minimal surface contact. Then they file their report confirming human extinction." Zephyr nodded, watching the alien ship's gentle descent toward Earth's poisoned surface. The planet below looked exactly as humanity intended it to look. Vast cities lay in ruins, covered by 8 centuries of plant growth. The oceans were empty of ships, and radiation readings from humanity's final war still lingered in the atmosphere. To any observer, Earth appeared to be a dead world where an ambitious species had destroyed itself through nuclear warfare. The truth was far different. Humanity had never gone extinct. Instead, they had made the most difficult decision in their species' history. When their first contact with alien civilizations had revealed a galaxy where weak species were quickly conquered or enslaved, human leaders had chosen survival through invisibility. They had staged their own extinction, using controlled nuclear detonations and carefully planned environmental damage to make Earth appear uninhabitable. "How many stations are currently active?" Zephyr asked as she moved to the central command platform. "All 47 orbital installations are operational," replied Dr. Lisa Chen, the station's chief scientist. Dr. Chen was a small woman with black hair streaked with premature gray from years of working with experimental technology. "Total population across all stations is now 2.3 million humans. Food production is exceeding consumption by 12%. And our manufacturing capabilities are operating at peak efficiency." Sanctuary Prime was the crown jewel of humanity's hidden civilization. The massive station was built inside a hollowed-out asteroid, its interior containing parks, lakes, and residential districts that housed over 200,000 people. Advanced atmospheric processors created breathable air, while fusion reactors provided unlimited clean energy. Artificial gravity systems made life comfortable, and holographic sky displays showed images of Earth's former beauty to help humans remember their heritage. But Sanctuary Prime was more than just a hiding place. It was the command center for humanity's greatest achievement during their centuries of exile. While aliens had dismissed humans as another failed species, humanity had been quietly studying every civilization in the galaxy. They had learned alien languages, mapped star systems, and developed technology that surpassed anything their neighbors possessed. "What's the status of our stealth fleet?" Zephyr inquired, moving to the tactical display that showed the positions of human vessels throughout local space. "Invisible and positioned," reported Admiral Sarah Rodriguez, the military commander of humanity's space forces. Sarah was a stern woman in her 50s, with silver hair and scars on her hands from years of combat training. "We have 847 stealth ships stationed around every major alien world within 50 light-years. Our quantum phase technology keeps them completely undetectable, even when they're right next to alien vessels." The stealth ships were humanity's secret weapon, vessels that could exist in a slightly different dimensional phase, making them invisible to all known alien sensor technology. Each ship was equipped with advanced weapon systems and shields that had been developed through centuries of careful research and testing. More importantly, each ship carried human observers who had been studying alien behavior, learning weaknesses, and preparing for the day when humanity would reveal itself. "Have we reached a consensus on the emergence timeline?" Zephyr asked, knowing the answer would determine the fate of every human alive. Dr. Chen activated a holographic display showing voting results from all 47 stations. The final vote was unanimous across all populations. Every station, Commander, every department head and every citizen has agreed. We proceed with Phase 1 of the Revelation Protocol tomorrow at 800 Galactic Standard Time. For 800 years, humanity had debated this moment. Older generations had favored permanent hiding, believing that revealing themselves would only invite destruction. Younger humans argued that their species was strong enough to reclaim their place in the galaxy. Recent intelligence about growing conflicts between alien civilizations had finally tipped the balance. The galaxy needed guardians, and humanity was ready to step out of the shadows. What do we know about current galactic politics? Zephyr asked Admiral Rodriguez. Our intelligence networks report increasing tension between three major powers, Sarah replied, manipulating the holographic display to show star maps. The Drakmori Empire continues expanding through military conquest. The Nexus Federation maintains control through economic manipulation. The Thalassian Collective tries to keep peace through diplomatic intervention, but they're being overwhelmed. The Drakmori were humanity's greatest concern. This species of reptilian warriors had built their civilization on the principle that might makes right. They conquered weaker species without mercy, enslaving entire populations and strip mining their worlds. In the past century, they had absorbed 15 different civilizations and showed no signs of stopping. The Nexus Federation was more subtle but equally dangerous. These spider-like beings controlled trade routes and resources throughout the galaxy, using economic pressure to force compliance from other species. They rarely used direct military force, preferring to strangle their enemies through embargo and financial manipulation. What about our technological advantages? Dr. Chen asked, bringing up displays of humanity's most advanced inventions. Quantum phase technology gives us complete stealth capability, Admiral Rodriguez explained. Our dimensional shift drives allow faster-than-light travel that leaves no energy signature. Our adaptive AI systems can hack and control alien technology in real time. Most importantly, our gravitational field generators can create artificial black holes for both defensive and offensive purposes. But humanity's greatest advantage wasn't technological, it was knowledge. For 8 centuries, human observers had studied every major alien civilization. They knew how each species made decisions, what they feared, what they desired, and how they would react to unexpected situations. Humanity had essentially become expert xenopsychologists, understanding alien minds better than aliens understood themselves. The Thalassian ship is finishing its surface scan, Lieutenant Commander Park reported. They'll be leaving Earth's system within 6 hours. Zephyr made her decision. Send the coded message to all stations. Begin final preparations for emergence. In 18 hours, the galaxy will learn that humanity is very much alive. Across the solar system, hidden human stations began powering up systems that had been dormant for decades. Communication arrays prepared to broadcast on every known alien frequency. Stealth ships moved into final positions around alien worlds. Manufacturing centers began producing the devices that would prove humanity's technological supremacy. On Sanctuary Prime's main viewing deck, families gathered to watch Earth rotate slowly below them. Children pressed their faces against the transparent aluminum, asking their parents about the blue and green world that had once been humanity's home. Many of these children had never seen a natural planet, having been born among the stars. Will we ever go back to Earth? Asked 8-year-old Marcus Webb, looking up at his grandmother with curious brown eyes. Someday, child, replied Elena Webb, a woman who had been born just 50 years after humanity's exodus. When the galaxy is safe enough for humans to live in the light again, we'll clean up our old home and make it beautiful once more. But Elena knew the truth that most children couldn't understand yet. Humanity was no longer the same species that had fled Earth 8 centuries ago. They had become something new, something stronger. They were no longer planetary dwellers who happened to travel in space. They had become true children of the void, equally comfortable among the stars as their ancestors had been on solid ground. As the Thalassian survey ship departed Earth system, its crew filed their routine report, confirming the continued extinction of humanity. The blue-skinned aliens felt a moment of sadness for the lost species, then forgot about Earth as they traveled toward their next assignment. They had no idea that they had just conducted their final survey of humanity's supposed grave. In hidden command centers throughout the solar system, human leaders made final preparations for the most important day in their species' history. Tomorrow, the galaxy would learn that the weak mammals who had supposedly destroyed themselves were actually the most advanced civilization in known space. Tomorrow, humanity would reclaim the heavens. The return of the lost children, the emergency. Session of the Galactic Council was unlike anything in the organization's 400-year history. Representatives from 67 different species crowded into the great assembly chamber on Nexus Station, their voices creating a cacophony of fear, excitement, and confusion in dozens of alien languages. Ambassador Thala Moore of the Thalassian Collective stood at the central podium, her blue skin pale with shock as she attempted to bring order to the chaos. The elegant diplomat had served the council for 30 years, but nothing had prepared her for the message that had arrived simultaneously on every communication device in the galaxy just 6 hours earlier. Fellow delegates, Thala called, her melodic voice amplified through the chamber's translation systems. We must approach this situation with calm deliberation. The transmission appears to be authentic, but we must verify its claims before making any decisions. Verify? Roared General Vex Drakmor, the massive reptilian representative of the Drakmori Empire. His yellow eyes blazed with fury as he slammed his clawed fist on his delegation's table. Those mammals have been spying on us for 8 centuries. This is an act of war that demands immediate response. The message that had shaken the galaxy was simple, but earth-shattering. A human woman with kind eyes and graying hair had appeared, on every screen in known space, speaking in perfect galactic common tongue. She had identified herself as Chancellor Maria Santos, leader of the Human Stellar Coalition, and had delivered news that rewrote galactic history. People of the galaxy, the message had begun. We know this comes as a shock, but humanity never went extinct. 800 years ago, faced with a galaxy where the strong devoured the weak, we made the difficult choice to disappear. We have been watching from the shadows ever since, learning about your civilizations and growing stronger in secret. Their revelation had been accompanied by impossible proof. Star charts showing the locations of classified military installations on dozens of worlds, recordings of private conversations between alien leaders. Most shocking of all, detailed records of historical events where mysterious equipment failures or natural disasters had prevented wars and saved millions of lives. For 8 centuries, Chancellor Santos had continued, humanity has served as the galaxy's unseen guardians. We have prevented 17 major wars, stopped 34 genocide attempts, and saved hundreds of worlds from natural disasters. We intervened not as conquerors, but as protectors who believed in the potential of all intelligent life. Trade Minister Nexus Keth of the Nexus Federation clicked her mandibles nervously as she addressed the assembly. The spider-like being's multiple eyes reflected her species' calculation and concern. If these humans possess such advanced surveillance capabilities, what other technologies might they have developed? This could destabilize the entire galactic economy. The question isn't what they can do, interrupted Dr. Zara Voss of the Etherian Republic, her tentacles writhing with scientific excitement. The question is why they're revealing themselves now. After 8 centuries of hiding, something must have motivated this decision. Captain Zephyr Caney smiled as she listened to the alien debates from her position aboard the HSV Lazarus, humanity's new flagship that had materialized in the middle of Nexus Station's supposedly impregnable defense perimeter. The massive vessel was a masterpiece of human engineering, its hull composed of programmable matter that could adapt to any situation, while its quantum phase generators allowed it to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. They're taking it better than our psychological models predicted, observed Dr. Chen, who was monitoring alien communications from the ship's Advanced Intelligence Center. Fear and confusion are dominant, But we're seeing more curiosity than hostility from the peaceful species. What about the Drakmori? Admiral Rodriguez asked as she studied tactical displays showing the positions of alien fleets throughout the galaxy. General Vex Drakmor is demanding military action, but Emperor Cathak hasn't authorized fleet movements yet, Captain Caney replied. Our stealth ships report unusual activity around their primary shipyards, but no immediate mobilization. The Drakmori were exactly the kind of threat humanity had been preparing to face. Their empire was built on the conquest of weaker species, and they would see humanity's return as either a challenge to their dominance or an opportunity for enslavement. Either way, conflict with the reptilian empire was inevitable. Incoming transmission from Nexus Station, Lieutenant Commander Park announced. Ambassador Thalamore is requesting formal diplomatic contact. Open the channel, Captain Caney ordered, straightening her uniform as the main viewer activated. The elegant Thalassian diplomat appeared on screen, her large eyes wide with wonder and concern. Captain Caney, I am Ambassador Thalamore, representing the Galactic Council. Your appearance here has caused quite a stir, as I'm sure you understand. Greetings, Ambassador, Zephyr replied with a respectful nod. I apologize for the dramatic entrance, but we felt it was necessary to demonstrate certain capabilities while opening diplomatic channels. Indeed, appearing inside our most secure facility does send a message, Thala said dryly. The Council would very much like to understand humanity's intentions. Your Chancellor spoke of being guardians, but your technological demonstrations suggest military capabilities far beyond anything we've seen. Before Zephyr could respond, alarms began sounding throughout Nexus Station. Admiral Rodriguez's tactical display lit up with warnings as massive Drakmori battle fleets materialized. At the edge of the system, it appears General Drakmor has decided not to wait for Council deliberations, Zephyr observed calmly as she watched the alien warships assume attack formations. The Drakmori fleet was impressive by galactic standards. 47 heavy cruisers and 12 dreadnoughts, their hulls bristling with plasma cannons and missile tubes. Each ship carried enough firepower to devastate a planet, and together they represented one of the largest military forces in known space. Captain, Admiral Rodriguez reported, we're receiving demands for surrender from the Drakmori fleet. General, Drakmor is claiming authority to arrest us for violations of galactic sovereignty. How many stealth ships do we have in position? Zephyr asked. 200 vessels within this system, with another 800 positioned throughout Drakmori. Space, Sarah replied. All ships report ready status for Operation Daybreak. Zephyr turned back to the communication screen where Ambassador Thala watched with growing alarm. Ambassador, you asked about humanity's intentions. Allow me to provide a demonstration. Space around Nexus Station suddenly filled with human vessels as they dropped out of quantum phase. Unlike the blocky, weapon-heavy designs of alien ships, human vessels were sleek and organic-looking, their hulls seeming to flow like liquid metal. Each ship pulsed with energy patterns that no alien sensor could identify. Attention. Drakmori. Fleet. Zephyr broadcast on all frequencies. You are hereby ordered to withdraw from this system. Any hostile action will be met with appropriate response. General Drakmor's reply came as a barrage of plasma fire directed at the human flagship. The deadly energy beams struck the Lazarus dead center, then simply vanished as the ship's adaptive shields absorbed and redirected the attack energy into its power systems. Human vessel, came Drakmor's snarling voice. Surrender immediately or face the consequences of defying the Drakmori Empire. Admiral Rodriguez, Zephyr said quietly, demonstrate the consequences of threatening humanity. What happened next became known throughout the galaxy as the 5-Minute War. Human ships didn't return fire with conventional weapons. Instead, they used their gravitational field generators to create localized distortions in space-time around each Drakmori vessel. The alien ships found themselves trapped in bubbles of altered physics where their weapons wouldn't function and their engines couldn't operate. General Drakmor, Zephyr announced calmly. Your ships are currently suspended in artificial gravitational fields. Your weapons are useless. Your shields are down, and your life support is running on emergency power. You have two options. Withdraw your forces and acknowledge humanity's right to exist, or we will relocate your entire fleet to the edge of empty space, where you can contemplate your choices for the next few decades. The Drek Mori general's furious roars filled the communication channels, but his tactical officers were already reporting the hopeless nature of their situation. Human technology had neutralized the most powerful military force in local space. Without firing a single shot, the Drek Mori fleet is withdrawing, Admiral Rodriguez reported with satisfaction. General Drakmore is demanding a formal investigation by the Council, but his ships are jumping to hyperspace. Ambassador Thala stared at the tactical displays in amazement. Captain Kane, your people have just defeated the Drakmori Empire's finest battle group without causing a single casualty. How is such precision possible? 800 years of preparation, Ambassador, Zephyr replied. We've had time to study every alien technology and develop countermeasures. More importantly, we've learned to value life above victory. Humans could have destroyed that fleet, but we chose to demonstrate superiority without unnecessary death. Over the following days, the galaxy watched as humanity established itself as the newest major power in galactic politics. Species that had been oppressed by stronger neighbors suddenly found mysterious technical problems plaguing their oppressors. Trade disputes that had lasted decades were resolved when human mediators provided solutions that benefited everyone involved. The Thalassian collective welcomed humanity with open arms, eager to learn from a species that had mastered both advanced technology and peaceful coexistence. The Etherian Republic scientists practically begged for cultural exchange programs. Even the Nexus Federation grudgingly acknowledged that humanity's economic proposals offered benefits to all parties. But the most significant change was in how the galaxy viewed itself. For the first time in centuries, smaller civilizations had hoped that they could survive and thrive without being conquered or enslaved. Humanity's return had shifted the balance of power, creating space for diversity and growth that hadn't existed before. Chancellor Maria Santos addressed the Galactic Council from Earth orbit. Standing in the observation deck of humanity's newest diplomatic vessel, behind her, the blue and green planet turned slowly, its atmosphere finally beginning to clear after 8 centuries of careful environmental restoration. Fellow beings of the galaxy, she began, her words translated into 67 languages. Humanity returns to you not as conquerors but as siblings who have learned wisdom through exile. We offer our friendship to those who choose peace, our protection to those who need help, and our patience to those who require time to accept change. She paused, looking directly into the camera that would carry her message to billions of alien beings. The age of hiding is over. Humanity has reclaimed the heavens not through force but through preparation, wisdom, and an unwavering commitment to protect all intelligent life. We invite you to join us in building a galaxy where every species can reach its full potential. As Maria spoke, human families throughout the solar system watched from the viewing decks of orbital stations that were no longer hidden. Children pressed their faces against transparent walls, seeing their home planet with new eyes now that secrecy was no longer necessary. The galaxy had believed humanity was extinct for 800 years. Now they would learn what humans could accomplish when they truly set their minds to a goal. The lost children of Earth had returned, and they brought with them the promise of a better future for all intelligent life. In the depths of space, human stealth ships maintained their vigil around alien worlds, no longer hidden guardians but acknowledged protectors. The age of human exile was over. The age of humanity's galactic leadership had begun.